Mr. Miki Levy, Chairman of the Knesset, who will be followed by Lord Gardner of Kimball, Senior Deputy Speakers of the House of Lords. Mr. Levy, you have the floor. 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. גבירותיי ורבותיי, מכובדיי כולם. אני שמח ונרגש.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm most happy and moved to be here in this excellent meeting as the President of the Knesset. And I was elected a few months ago to this position. Now, I have worn a uniform all my life in the police, and I was head of police in Jerusalem under the Second Intifada, when the state of Israel was facing a very serious terrorist threats every day. Now, this was an awful period, and today I stand before you as the president of the Knesset. And the Knesset has been able to understand that without a political solution, one would have to spend millions of dollars on more elections when fighting the epidemic and the crisis. So Israel was in a constitutional crisis with 4 electoral rounds in less than 2 years. And we are a country which has been able to survive without even having a budget. So at the head of a democratic parliament, I'm proud to say that we have been able now to have a coalition in the Knesset from parties across the political spectrum, from right all the way over to the left. And for the first time in our history, an Arab-Israeli party in the House. So we feel very proud about that. And at the end of this conference, we will be also voting the state budget in Israel. But the crisis of COVID and the pandemic has certainly created a lot of challenges for Knesset. We have been able to discover a number of solutions so that the Knesset and the plenary be able to continue their smooth functioning at the same time. The Knesset had to also manage the tremendous tensions we had in order to be able to take very swift decisions to stop the pandemic spreading. So, dear colleagues, we can in fact live together with COVID because we've been able in fact to deal with coronavirus issues and also to have a third vaccine dose established. And the 4th wave, in fact, is behind us, Israel, because that has taught us that in Israel, the coronavirus epidemic does, in fact, hit those who have not been vaccinated. And many people, in fact, have been exposed to lies, half-truths, and false information, so they don't want to get themselves vaccinated. Those in hospital in Israel and those who died were all not vaccinated. We've been able to overcome the 4th wave without a lockdown and with few deaths and little restrictions. Those of our citizens who have been vaccinated a 3rd time can have a green pass, which enables them to go into closed spaces and mass gatherings. So from the 4th wave, our experience has been that we can fight for truth and especially against dissemination of false information. So, Your Excellencies, due to the parliamentary paralysis and the constitutional crisis and corona restrictions, the Knesset was absent from the international arena. But I'm very pleased to stand here before you and to declare that the Knesset is now returning to the international stage. So it's been a year now since we signed the accords with the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Morocco. And a week ago, I was able to, in fact, have the ambassador from Morocco visit me in my office, which would have, in fact, looked like science fiction a year ago. So today it is a reality. And that is why I'm taking advantage of this important meeting in order to say that we would like to also have more such agreements signed. And I'd like to just conclude by just repeating a Jewish prayer. So may those who make peace in high places make peace in all places. Thank you.
So, ladies